The Stage 1 report with the Fourth Crossing Bill Committee is considered and balanced, and I welcome its recommendation that the principles of the bill be agreed. The bill directly affects private interests and therefore is one to which we must pay close attention. People's rights are important, and it's important that in that context we understand the need for a new crossing, especially that those who are directly affected by our proposals understand the implications. In 2004, the Fourth Estuary Transport Authority, FETA, carried out their first internal inspection of the main cables on the Forth Road Bridge. They found fairly significant corrosion, and they estimated that there was a loss of strength of about 8%. In 2007, this government recognised that securing cross-Forth travel was imperative for the economic well-being of Scotland. Accordingly, this government committed to a replacement bridge. In 2008, FETA carried out another inspection. It showed a total weakening of about 10%. To halt or slow the weakening, FETA commissioned a scheme to dehumidify the cables. We are optimistic that this will reduce the environment for further corrosion, and the results of this should be known soon. But what will not be recovered is the loss of strength already measured. In December 2008, I announced that this government had considered, as promised, the future of the existing Forth Road Bridge, and I outlined how the existing bridge would be used as a dedicated public transport corridor. We've discussed and debated at length the issues around the need for a replacement crossing and how it should be funded. And in January 2009, we, well, very nearly all of us, welcomed that it would operate without tolls. We agreed that it would be capitally funded, and we agreed that it should be progressed at the earliest opportunity. Having set out the need for the crossing, I'd now like to make comment on the report itself. I've provided a detailed written response of, I think, more than 24 pages to the convener, and I've supplied a copy of that response to the relevant committees. Today, I wish to draw out two of the key issues within the report: public transport and the impact of our proposals on the local communities. The bill contains substantial public transport elements. Indeed, the design of the project has been based on future travel growth beyond 2016 being supported by public transport and not private travel. The project includes access improvements to Ferrytoll Park and Ride. It provides bus priority at Ferrytoll Junction. It provides dedicated bus links between Ferrytoll and the existing bridge. And it provides for a massive increase in public transport capability over the existing bridge. In the south, fast bus-only links will connect the A90 to Echlin Junction and the existing bridge. Providing these substantial elements of infrastructure is, of course, only part of the solution. I recognise, as do others, that more needs to be done to capitalise on the potential created for modal shift. Working with the local authorities, Sestran and with others, we've developed a strategy to increase travel choice, improve integration and encourage modal shift. In this financial climate, and who knows what future settlements may be, we cannot yet guarantee to deliver the entirety of the strategy immediately, much though that would be our preferred position. However, there are things that need to be done and can be done soon, because unless there's a change in travel habits, there will be inevitable traffic management pressures at peak times, particularly at Ferrytoll during the construction period. I certainly will.
George Foulkes.
Would the Minister not, however, agree that even Transport Scotland accept that overall there will be a shift in percentage terms away from public transport towards private transport, and that a large percentage of that will come in to the city of Edinburgh, which is already overcrowded and greatly congested with private traffic? How does he propose that the City of Edinburgh Council deals with that extra traffic?
Minister.
The traffic volumes that we expect on the new bridge are essentially at the same level as we currently provide. Providing extra public transport as an option is a way of addressing the way in which people have to travel to Edinburgh. We also, of course, are making it easier for traffic, if you like, in coming south to turn right and to travel the long-distance traffic, travel by the M9 and M8 to their ultimate destinations. So there's a range of ways in which we're addressing that problem. But the member is not being unreasonable, Presiding Officer, in making a point that we have to look at the effects on traffic in the City of Edinburgh. And to that effect, we will continue to work with CESTRANS, we will continue to work with the City of Edinburgh to make sure we both understand in sufficient detail and respond to their concerns. Now let me talk about local communities. It's an inescapable fact that construction activities generate noise. We have within the bill and our comprehensive Code of Construction Practice set out appropriate and comprehensive measures at the forefront of good practice to manage, mitigate and control construction noise. We do recognise that we need to augment these measures and ensure they're understood, and to that end I will bring forward changes to the Code of Construction Practice as currently tabled. We've had extremely productive discussions with the local authorities north and south of the Firth. They recognise the values and the effective planning processes we're putting in place, but there are improvements that can be made. And together with the local authorities, we'll be forming a noise liaison group. We're also working with local authorities towards a memorandum of understanding on noise and vibration matters, and will ensure that the committee and constituency members remain appraised as to the outcome of our ongoing discussions. The committee's report recommends a reduction in the proposed working hours for the construction of roads, and I agreed to consider that further when I spoke to the committee. I've concluded that we can change working hours without compromising unduly the delivery of the project. Accordingly, I will revise the Code of Construction Practice. The normal working hours for roadworks will now be from 8 AM to 7 PM, with a 30-minute start-up time to 8 AM. That start-up time is only to allow people to go on site, to travel to the designated area of work. It will not be used for working. In particular, no. My apologies, I'm out of time. The 904 through Newton is a particular issue, and I'm pleased to advise, this will be of interest to Mrs Mulligan, that additional works to reduce community sevens within Newton Village are currently being discussed with both West Lothian and Newton Community Council. Let me welcome the committee's endorsement of the principles of the bill. I welcome the recommendations and suggestions within that report. I acknowledge that many of the committee's concerns reflect the concerns of those directly affected. In turn, I trust that Parliament recognises the positive and constructive approach we are taking to address the committee's concerns. I will listen carefully to the contributions of members, including those whose intervention I was not able to take, and seek to respond to those in my closing remarks. At the centre of what we're doing is to deliver a good transport system for the whole of Scotland, particularly affecting the communities adjacent to it, to look after their interests. Presiding Officer.